Welcome back to EPEC, everyone. We have been slowly chipping our way through the best of ones today to see who is going to be the top dogs at the end of day one, where we get in tomorrow, and there will be those relegation spots up for grabs. Still joined by SEO, of course. How you doing? Not too bad. How you doing, man?
Bit hungry still.
Yeah? Bit nibblish?
Bit nibblish.
Hungry for some CS?
Perhaps.
Of course, as we do have more games going down. The next one that will be coming up is aTTaX versus Ldlc. More to see from aTTaX, a team we've already seen a lot of today. And we do have the new results that are in as well for all the games that went on during that time. So let's have a look at that, because there was a bit of a shake-up.
Yeah, I think the clear difference is you look at the bottom half of the results. 16-1 is the lowest one, 16-2 is the largest. So
yeah,
very one-sided fixtures right there, possibly deciding basically who actually is going through in those groups potentially as well. Ldlc now 3 wins of 3, Fish now 3 wins of 3. aTTaX hoping to get to that third win. As you can see right there, currently placed third, so the separation between them and Nexus Gaming is being built right now. But the question is, will they be able to maintain that? On the other side of things, Endpoint, we're not able to make that comeback come true against Euronics. 16-14 loss. Still haven't quite got on the board. They've got that 1 point thanks to that overtime loss against No Quarter Cartel. And Kingwin, arguably the favourites, sitting in 4th, which is surprising.
It is pretty crazy. Not fantastic at all, though, for the Endpoint side, obviously off the back of the LAN win. Just looks like they're struggling a little bit, Ben. Games they should be winning, they're losing. Games that should be close are just absolutely not. In terms of Group B, though, there have been some whitewashes. Diffuse Kids and Team Forge being the two teams that are left in the dirt. No wins to their names and 3 losses, struggling up against the other sides. Ldlc, Fish 1-2-3 and aTTaX all looking pretty good in terms of the top 3 in that Group B.
Yeah, just look at the round difference there. 24 in third place, then it was -4, -36. So Diffuse Kids have had a total of, what, 12 rounds so far this tournament? Forge only the 9. It's not looking great for them, really, is it? They're basically on the brink of being eliminated just through mathematical, process right there. They have to win out both games and have aTTaX lose out, and technically head-to-head, it might not work for them anyway.
Yeah, it's
shaping
up pretty badly for them, so they definitely need to try and get their heads screwed on. But the two teams that will be clashing antlers this time, of course, is aTTaX and Ldlc. This one's a little bit different. First time we're going to be really seeing Ldlc today over on the mainstream. aTTaX, obviously, we've just witnessed them having a bit of a game. So what do we think about this one, Ben?
Yeah, a bit of an interesting. I've not seen the Ldlc lineup that we have right here today. So Alex, Twanu, Logan and stuff. I've not actually seen them play with aMONEK and ldlc.
Okay.
So they had that one instance, which was the French National League, so yeah, Championnat National or whatever. Alex was actually not playing that time. They had RPK standing in, and they actually lost to that AAA lineup, which did still have Zywoo. So I'm not too sure if that's like a sign of things to come, that they're technically on the lesser side of that, or if, Alex is that much of a difference maker. I did look at the HLTV rankings, and currently Alex is the top performer of the entire event. Like 1.7 rating across, average across all 3 maps that they've played. That's
pretty crazy. Let's have a look at that Ldlc roster as well to familiarise you guys at home with that team. Alex, the sort of touted as the UK spy in French soil, obviously. Long-time player in the French scene, been there for, the majority of the time he's played CS, really. That has been his home turf.
Yeah, he does consider himself to be British, but
he's
at the end of the day, he started in that French scene, so he has always stuck around there. And then the other 2 names, which most people know, aMONEK and ldlc, who formerly of Misfits, and now found themselves in new home as Ldlc, and Twanu, another one of the long-standing members, and Logan, who was the player who came in to replace Existence not long ago.
Yeah, obviously back during that season of Pro League that happened, didn't it? They subbed him out, replaced him with Logan. Now this team's actually, I'd say, been looking pretty good in terms of individual potential. You have a lot of players that can pop off. I think aMONEK and ldlc actually are quite a good fit for this side. They've had a lot of potential. Twanu has always been an AWPer that has, I think, been on the cusp of breaking through. And he still seems like he is.
I've always thought he could do just a bit more.
Yeah.
But hopefully he can actually, reach that potential, right? I suppose it would be only a matter of time if he can do it. But I would like to see him get there. And I think I think it's Logan who is IGLing in this site, is it
I
not?
believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So there were hints that Alex was going to be doing it at times. But I mean, if he's doing that and 1.7 rating average, then fair play.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You've got to give them a break with some of the work. And let's see their opponents as well. Alternate aTTaX, the team we did witness a little while earlier, headed up by Hunden, of course, the old school IGL himself, Ben.
Yeah, of course, we saw them earlier running against Diffuse Kids, and it was, fair to say, a bit one-sided. Funnily enough, Diffuse Kids then dropped, I think it was 16-2 to Fish 1-3 on that very same map straight after. So, potentially a sign that, you know, that map clearly wasn't Diffuse Kids' best, and that alternate aTTaX, fair play, they were good enough to beat them in that way, but it was at least showing it might not have been a one-off.
That's another scary point there as well, right? Imagine if you had the worst affair on a map you normally feel comfortable on. Normally with a veto system, you'd be like, all right, maybe we don't play it at this point, right? Because you're not feeling comfortable on it. The issue with the veto system being done in the way it is, where it's set up from the get-go and you have your preference of maps, you can't affect it. That's from the beginning of the day, set the whole way through. You know what your map priority list is, and that is a scary affair. So let's actually have a look at the veto for this one and see how it's shaping up then.
I think this has been one of the closer ones so far today. So second and third preference for both teams. That's pretty solid. I mean, I think both teams would be happy with that, to be honest, wouldn't they? Like, coming into it at least.
You'd imagine so. Obviously, that's a pretty similar difference. Overpass, both of these sides do like the map. Ldlc, we saw him play it a lot in Pro League, a lot in various other sort of competitions. It's always been a map they've felt comfortable on. Most of the time I did witness him play it in Pro League was with Existence. Since the changes, I don't really know too much about how it's standing right now because I've only seen him a few times between on the map, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, the round 3 matchup that Ldlc had, it was on Dust 2, which is second map preference, and they actually won 16-2 against Nexus, which is a pretty dominating fixture considering Nexus are normally a Mountain Dew League sort of level team. So in terms of Overpass being third, you probably think it'll be kind of similar. If I'm honest, it just guarantees that this will be a tight affair, because there is one previous result for these two teams. It actually was a 16-9 win for Ldlc, but since that, Ldlc then got rid of Devil and Maniac.
Well, yeah, so that was
which was without aTTaX and Devil technically. So, as an overall comparison, I think, you know, those changes are probably about even if you just look at it like just plain, you know, Maniac, plenty of experience, Devil, plenty of experience as well. But the longer this lineup sticks together, I think it's probably better than that one.
I'd say so. aTTaX and Devil definitely have more firepower potential, and they're fresher, right? It's not something that's been around for a long time. Obviously, Maniac, you know what you're getting with him.
As well.
Yeah, he's moved on from that role at this point. He was getting to, you know, the end of his career really at that time, and now we got the up and comers that have definitely looked strong. They've been a good duo the entire time we've seen them. If they can just get better and improve, and obviously gel with this roster, that would be the best case scenario.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Misfits, they were kind of the funny one because I remember talking to various people about it. They were just like, aTTaX and Devil carried that team.
Yeah.
And then for them to come back to the French scene, technically you'd think, you know, be raised a bit more, you know, higher, a bit bigger reputation sort of thing. They then took quite a while to get into another team, and then they finally found a home in Ldlc, and we haven't really seen much of them.
Ldlc's been a bit of a weird team. I think it's also because where there's been the lapse, we haven't had Pro League on currently since the changes. And Pro League's normally the big one for Ldlc, right? They were the only team that actually consistently kept in there. Even though they wouldn't fare too well each and every season, they'd always do enough to stay in Pro League and be able to keep up there. So you get an abundance of games where we'll be able to really take them under the microscope during Pro League seasons, but then during the off time, you wouldn't see that much. Now with the new roster, they're competing a little bit more, things are looking good. It'll actually be interesting to see them once that next season of Pro League kicks off. So this could be a good little benchmark to see where they're at. Obviously, topping the leaderboard right now, just slightly above Fish 1-2-3, they must be looking good.
It's great. I'm just looking at the contrast in some of these like veto differences. So for example, Ldlc, 7th for Nuke.
Yeah.
Number 1 for aTTaX. Dust 2, number 2 for Ldlc, 7th for aTTaX. Cash, number 1 for Ldlc, 6th for aTTaX. There's quite a strong comparison there, but somehow
on what maps they want to play.
They match on Mirage. They're pretty much just like, yeah, we both don't really want to play that, and the same goes for Train, really.
Yeah.
Like, that's quite surprising. I mean, this is a very different system for people to actually visually see it, because normally you just come into the game, you don't really see veto, then you're just like, map will be this, and then that's it. You don't find anything else out. At least with this, you kind of see what do teams think of their own map pool, because sometimes a veto process, it'll be like ban, whatever.
Yeah.
You won't be able to know
really
what is their game plan before
that, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas this, you can just see it quite clear as day. That some teams, they've got their preference, and sometimes does quite get to it, and we don't think it's the same.
It is very interesting, but we are in Ldlc on the CT side of Overpass, and aTTaX will be your tease, Ben, as we kick this one off. Already some early aggression afoot.
Yeah, very aggressive from console there. Clearly had a plan in mind, instantly distinguished that molly. But Ldlc, I mean, Alex, look how confident he is.
Ooh, Alex goes for the play, but he will only get one before he's punished. Runs the risk being over-aggressive. Console with a follow-up frag, takes down Logan as well. And it is now the 4-on-3. Cyrusson, he's being boosted up. He can go for the play, just sit on the ledge. They shouldn't actually expect this. This could be quite smart when this execution comes in, but they've already killed that man, and it is just down to Twanu.
Not much chance here, is there? 1v4. I'm not too sure if there was a kit, but just looking for any sort of kill if he can find one. They're not really giving him much of a chance. And surprisingly, he seems to be allowed to get away there. Keeps his Kevlar, gets a kill on the way out. And if he is still able to stay alive, that's actually not too bad, because it means with that kill, he can get a scout next round, if he does want to. They're actually quite close to him, though. That's another kill. And guarantees, again, he can get a scout if they want to force point to this, and he can actually get some nades alongside it. Not too bad of a position to be in, considering the save. But at the end of the day, that was a round loss. aTTaX take the lead. And they actually invest 2 AKs of Galil and 2 SMGs. Quite a heavy investment there from them.
Well, can the Deagles of Twanu and co actually hold anyone back? Quito is tagged up on the initial face as he will lose some of his health. Slapped by the first connection from the bullet.
Yeah, strong hit for Twanu, even though, you know, a bit of a rough situation, fully blinded. Just throws out that one shot. Doesn't get anything from it other than the tag. And aTTaX actually, he's taken the hit for his team there. Decided not to go for armor, instead has all those grenades. Yet to have to use them as well is another thing. So the longer this round plays out, the more likely we'll see them just have to use the grenades without getting any contact. And quite clearly there has been a call that the end goal is to go onto that B-bomb site. Question is, how much of a fake can Quito actually do on his own? He smokes the end of long. I imagine that that'll be it though. It'll just be the presence known. And it looks like it'll be a B execute from aTTaX here.
Logan with the CZ. Oh, his face has gone in seconds, Ben, and they aggress off the back of it. A follow-up kill as well, found with the MAC-10 as the site control has been taken. They can get that bomb planted and begin to build from this position they're now in. Cyrusson hunting as well. Smells the blood of the weakened opponents in front of him. Quito, in the meantime, has been able to find the headshot over onto Twanu, and the 2 CT players cower back over at the A bomb site. Quito, he can aggress from the front. Cyrusson can sandwich him in from the back. Either way, these players are going down. They shouldn't be allowed to save here. Alex with the Deagle and armor, though, makes it a bit more costly for him. Gets the first kill, tries to back off and readjust his crosshair for the second, but has been slain from a distance with the MAC-10.
Yeah, not quite able to get it done, and fair enough, props to them. aTTaX, that good call, technically mid-round right there, to rotate towards the B site and execute upon it. Cyrusson just ran rampant across them as well, that MAC-10, got himself some nice juicy money. And technically will be able to go for an AK if need be. There is one pause that did come in.
Yeah, this is a technical pause for aTTaX.
Yeah, it did seem like a bit of an early one if it were to be a tactical. But technical means there could be all kinds of issues. I think we have just had a player drop out the server and reconnect. Because I saw some other names switch around just then. Because I believe Cyrusson was originally number 7.
Either that or Jakey's rearranging the names.
I don't think he can actually do that.
He's switching things up on us.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually possible.
Jake, can you recreate the Ldlc logo?
Yeah, draw it.
You can't use the map.
That's a shame, isn't it? What?
Well, let him.
That was probably the best bit about... That's the bit you enjoyed about casting online, isn't it?
That was the best thing about online casting. It's just when you get that one long pause, just have a draw and just draw the logos. It was great. We can imagine. We can pretend.
I guess the Ldlc one, it looks quite simple. But I imagine that it would actually be... It'd probably look horrendous when you do try and do it yourself, though.
When you manually draw it.
Yeah.
Draw the little fox. Little wolf. Little wolf.
I'm going to guess wolf, right?
Yeah, probably a wolf. What's the alternate attacks? Is that a magpie?
Oh, I don't know, actually. What? Is that...
Like the red bit at the top. Is it a bird?
I'm trying to see. There's an eye, isn't there?
It's like a flaming Oreo?
Red herring.
A red, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. It's been retro, though. They've had that avatar for quite a long time.
They have had that same logo for many, many years. But it looks like they are ready. We can carry on with the action here, and we'll find out if it's a magpie later on.
Maybe.
If they win, it will pop up in a big logo, and then I can go, oh, it's not a magpie at all, Ben, I'm wrong.
Easier identified.
Yeah. It was actually the blue-titted heron.
Ah, yes.
Common in these parts, of course.
Often mistaken for the red heron.
Yes, of course. It's very, very common. We are back in. Because they are going to go for the boost play, yeah, the totem pole.
Not seen that in a while.
You can see Logan is the top of the totem.
Unfortunately, won't really get any action with it, though. Because the attack is on long.
Yeah, it's going to be Amanek. As he spots him out, Keita gets the kill with the Galil. He goes down, Ben. They can just carry on pushing that. A site is completely empty. Alternate attacks, obviously, we expect them to get this third round. It looks like they're going to be able to get it with ease.
Question is, how much money will Searson be able to rack up here on the way in? Because he will be the scout on this play. Does he the first player? Struggles quite a bit, though. I guess more. Didn't actually get that kill there. $300 for Keita. And Keita actually gets taken down. Alex has got a kill every round thus far. And he does seem to be on point. I can see why he's been performing so well today. Especially that pistol round, he was so aggressive.
He's confident. And he's going to go back into it, wants to try and do more damage if possible. Little tag through the smoke with a love tap to invigorate him. As they do run past, he is getting off the taps, but cannot get the kills. And alternate attacks will find themselves a third round. And this is where the real game will now begin. Ldlc, they have the cash, they can invest into their rifles, get the buyout. There is the AWP on Twanu, which is what we want to see. And we'll be ready for round number 4.
For sure, and I'm hoping that Ldlc will be trying to get in early here. Try and form some kind of positive influence through that AWP. See him go. I'm going to imagine this is going fast towards B short. In fact, it's going for a boost. Okay. It's quite rare that you see the AWP get boosted first by round at B. Of all places.
It is a bit interesting. And it hasn't given them too much from it. Obviously, they get the info at least, but alternate attacks are playing quite far back, just set up over by playground. Slowly spreading up towards that A site.
Yeah, because of how long it was, 20 didn't even get a chance to have any influence right there. Fully rotates back to the A site. And thankfully, due to his teammate on that site playing so defensive, it means he doesn't have to do much, he just gets back to the site. Posts up on somewhere. And he does look like he's going for some kind of pick here. The only nearby player is Hunden, but he's behind that wall next to the bench. So one would have to search quite a bit to get that kill. He's still searching. It's very patient round for attacks. They're doing the execute from long. As you can see, the smoke's starting to come in now. I think it's all dependent on what Hunden actually does towards short. Because right now, he could catch one of the players. If they end up looking towards long when that burst comes in, he might be able to get them in the back.
Alex flicking between both sides, Ben, debating when they're going to be coming in. They actually get that moment to break through off the back of the flashbang. Hunden strikes Twanu, the Song Assassin. And everyone is going down. It's just Davidovec and Logan that remain, and it is not going to be easy for them at all. If they want to go for this, it will be rather risky. They might as well just hold on to those weapons. They have armor as well. This has been a 5-man site take, and they are hunting. Alternate attacks want to find these CTs and kill them. Luckily, the angles complement the CT side so far. So Ldlc surviving, Ben. They need to keep on to these weapons.
Yeah, especially with how fragile that CT defense and the economy is. What's weird though is the CTs, they've kind of split up on this save situation. But attacks, they're accepting it as it is. There's no real need to hunt right now. Just holding in for right now. Let them keep their guns, just remember that they are in play. But like I said, during that round, Hunden was kind of the key factor. If, as I said, as that push came in, the AWPer and the other player next to him, they had to turn towards the side and look for that push there. Hunden got that free kill on Twanu. Then aTTaX was also taken down from the side. And they've not quite forced in with these guns that were saved, but they've got some armor along the way.
Grenades coming over, play towards the B site. Stefan with the early entry, charges his way around. He wants to be the first man to open it up. Equips the can opener and rips apart Logan, but the response is Ldlc as they dominate. Everyone is being blown to bits. This is the 2 versus 2 now into the round. Console, can he save the day? Trying to see if anyone's in the close proximity, but the CTs are rotating around. The backstab from aTTaX. They are going to clear it with the AWP. Cyrison doesn't quite spot him though. He's been allowed to slowly slide back around, Ben, as they have 1 minute and 10 seconds and the bomb hasn't gone down yet.
Yeah, Alex did the crazy rotation. He was originally on B short. And he's managed to get all the way around, grab an AK. And he's hoping he gets the drop in console. It's now 1v2 for Searson. And Searson, because of that play that was initially behind, he's so confused, doesn't really know where to check. And because of that, is very unsure. Can't really find a position for himself in the 1v2. Instead, takes the fight toward Pit and can't beat the CZ. And Alex, I said earlier on, he's been phenomenal all through today. Gets 3 kills, 2 of them with a deagle and the AK kill earlier on. And they get their first round on the board.
It's huge. They will be able to pick that one up. Ldlc starting things off, but again, a very costly affair. Alex had a 3K. aTTaX had the final kill there that saved them, but it's not going to be easy. Obviously, in terms of the rebuy, switch that all back over to Twanu. Everyone else can reinvest, and they need this round. It's going to be quite important to them. Otherwise, the cash will take a bit of a dive, Ben.
For sure. I mean, that's one of the fragile parts about the CT side, isn't it? Just the potential of that reset. And this is a very early B-side default from aTTaX. Potentially looking to make an execute very soon. See Hunden lining up the flash, throws the one, throw the second one. And Logan, he sees that molly come in, he has to put it out. And that does delay the push onto him. But look at that fast push across the bridge there. Stefan gets the first 2, Logan's still alive. Gets only the 1, and Stefan wraps it up with 3 kills.
Big frags coming through, so it's just Twanu and aTTaX that remain now. It's the 2 versus 3. aTTaX tagged by the smoke. He is going to try and push up. He goes down. Twanu is forced to save, Ben. That is going to be awful. Everyone's been killed. The only player that had cash was Alex and Twanu. Luckily, Twanu might be able to survive, but he needs to. If he loses this AWP, things will be in ruin.
And that's Searson actually losing his AWP as well. So you see the Molotov there, trying to potentially delay if there was anybody trying to push to get that AWP. But as he said, Twanu was one of the players who has cash, should be able to live out here. So he'll be able to drop an M4. Alex, he kind of needs to buy in for himself here. So he needs to get the full grenades, M4, Kevlar, if they are to buy for it. But like I said, that reset is here. And for it to being around like that where you didn't really have a chance other than the B players fighting back, it was so quick on that attack.
Yeah.
There wasn't much fight back. So Alex actually buys an AWP himself.
So we now got the double AWP setup out with a UMP, a CZ, and an M4.
Very peculiar. And Alex with his AWP, this was B, Twanu towards A long, and that nade was fantastic, to be fair.
It's interesting to see that. Ooh, Twanu. Let's get the first kill. I was going to say, Ben, almost as if now Existence is in the roster, Alex has a lot more freedom to sort of try and make those judgment calls in terms of being more of a star role.
Mm-hmm. Phenomenal trade right there from aTTaX as well. He picks up the AWP, gets the second one as well. So he does have the bomb down there, doesn't quite land the third. And then does trade that kill out. It's still 2v3 though in favor of Ldlc. And the bomb is down. They do have knowledge of where that was. And you can see the rotation from both Alex and Ldlc towards that A site. Not very aggressive from that position on the site though. I mean, Ldlc is being sent up towards long with Alex covering him. But I think that's more just getting in a better position with that CZ. Bomb is now recovered. Decent grenade usage in this 2v3 as well. But Ldlc, this could be a crazy peak here from him if he gets the timing on his side. Instead he actually opts to just pick up the AWP and pull back. Quite surprising from that.
Well, here comes the push as they go out towards the bomb site. Smokes are going to go down. They can get that plant fast. There is the backstab play. Ldlc is the man in the rear. And he has that AWP out. Ben, the angle's going to work well. Gets the first frag as they peek towards him. Hunden gets hit by the nades. He's in a 1 versus 3, trying to survive as he spams down the initial man. And they can just push together. That's all they've got to do. Chucks out his final smoke. There's the push. aTTaX will kill him. Slays him with a USP. Jumps on the bomb. And that'll be the second round now picked up for Ldlc.
And they do actually manage to save those 2 AWPs right there. Which clearly they feel comfortable having that 2 AWPs in use on that CT side of Overpass. Some teams not quite able to get that utility usage out of the AWPs. And it does look like aTTaX does keep his own there as well. So I imagine he'll be much more consistent towards that B side of the map with it. So you can see him there heading back towards B again with his. But not too bad of a round for aTTaX to actually lose, considering the money on the T side is a lot easier to maintain compared to the CT. And those are very aggressive quick smokes from the aTTaX right there. Straight onto the toys and the highway peak. Completely cover both of them, force the CTs back right from the get-go.
Everyone grouped up in position. Ready to try and go for this play towards the A site around toilets though, but aTTaX peeks out just at the wrong time. There is a firing squad in front of him. And they each fire a single bullet, Ben. They take him down. In terms of defense towards the site, it's going to be Twanu just hiding there with the AWP, constantly clearing both sets of angles. Does try and push up, gets himself into a better position. Timing is everything here. When that smoke dissipates, when they opt to face him, the flashbang is blind, but he gets the first. They're so delayed, and the follow-up push, they're blind now, Ben. Still, he stays alive. It was aTTaX to assist him. Twanu now goes down, and the 2 remaining Ts must bombard the site.
I saw the boost. Didn't quite memorize where the actual standing player was there. And Searson gets the first one, gets the second. He doesn't know that Logan's behind him, though. And Logan, the trigger discipline right there. Didn't have a chance to shoot at Searson, but he did see where he went to.
This is all on Logan. They've pulled
Surely
it.
not.
He's adjusted. He knows. Misses the opening shot, though. He's now on 6 HP. He's been tagged. He has a Molotov, he has a flashbang, and the M4. He can just pre-fire here, Ben. Chuck the Molotov out if he wanted to, but he knows he had the AWP, and was trying to play with the rifle. Goes down. 6 HP.
Crazy 3v1 to actually win out as well. Considering the start of that round, you're thinking Twanu made fantastic plays right there outside the toilets. Got the 2 kills close. And
he
then even the
basically
boost.
secured the round there.
Yeah, I can only imagine that this is actually a tactical from Ldlc. Purely because they need to actually just calm down a second, because that round was outrageously close.
Absolutely wild. And you just can't afford for it to be getting that close at this point, especially for Ldlc. They're not actually building the economy. They're having a couple of rounds, try to make it work, then get reset, and it's just too damaging for the economy for Ben, leaving him in a horrible spot. Meaning this will probably be a 7-2 scoreline before we even possibly see Ldlc start to waking up a bit.
Thing is, aTTaX has given it away towards us at least, that this will be a buy-in from them, or at least a very a force.
Yeah.
But look at the money around it. Like, he had what, 1450 spent right there. Ldlc only has 1500. aTTaX and Logan 1650 each. Twanu, the only man with much money, but still only 3150. So at best he can get, if he were to use it, would be a FAMAS, Kevlar, Flash. Like, it's not great. It really isn't. It's got to be a long talk about what kind of position you want the players to be in. Do you want someone to actually just go no armor, but have like a P50 and all the grenades, and try and do something from that, or do you want to just try and play a regular default round and see how that goes?
Yeah.
Because right now, Ldlc, I believe a win would actually guarantee them through to the next day. Because 4 wins from the 5 is essentially guaranteed at this rate.
You wouldn't be able to... No one could upset you on points at that point.
Especially in the second group, which appears to be a pretty solidified, top 3 at least.
That would mean if they took a loss here, if Fish123 was to win their game, Fish123 could possibly contest for the first spot, though, because that would negate the round difference, so... That would be a shake-up if they took the top spot from that group.
Especially considering aTTaX would move into that same spot as Ldlc, but they would be ahead of them due to just the head-to-head on its own.
Yeah.
If Fish were to win, as you mentioned, Fish should be on 12 points, Ldlc on 9, but Fish like, technically in third. And Fish have the head-to-head on aTTaX anyway, so going into tomorrow, they would already have 1 win on the board. And that means they could potentially get that spot at the LAN finals in Poznan.
Which is very interesting.
Like, technically, just getting to that LAN finals is, what, worth 5,000 euros, I think it is, for 4th?
Yeah. If you do come first, you'll be walking out of here with 35 grand. Second place is 20. Third will be 10k, and then 5k for that 4th place. So definitely still worth playing your heart out.
Yeah, Twanu doesn't invest fully though, so he was the only one with more than $2,000. Goes for the Scout HE, keeps himself on 1150, because I believe his total gains, if they were to lose these 2 rounds without any kills, he gets 4,300, which means on that 3rd round after losing those, he can afford an AWP and Kevlar. So no matter what here, if they lose out the next 2 rounds, he'll still have an AWP in that next buy round, whereas everybody else will be stuck to rifles. And 2 MP5s are actually bought this round as well, so aTTaX clearly recognizing there could be pistols in play. I'm thinking, what can we actually do from that?
Well, this time we have a crossfire setup in toilets. And Ldlc do get the first frag. aTTaX is just able to work his magic and eliminate the first member. Tried to get the follow-up kill, but the double trouble from aTTaX is too strong to deal with, Ben, as they push back through. Twanu on the scout, getting out these big tags. This is good, though. If he could just keep tagging everyone up, he could punish them when they get in close range. And that's where the CZs of Ldlc and Logan would have been difference makers. But instead, he has fallen short. The Trap's trying to rotate that bomb over as well. But they're just fighting with it now. Hunden just going to push down. Everyone is sprinting towards Logan, trying to fight him. He is only on, was it 22 HP there? Not great.
Yeah, but instead of committing to that fight, Console threw that single flash over to the B site. Through a rough smoke, he was hoping that would land towards heaven, at least feign the interest. And it did technically do enough. Ldlc thought it was going to be a play towards that B site, and he gave the A site up. You can see now thinking, I kind of have to save now. There's no chance of us getting this 4v2. Logan's still looking for some kind of exit kill, but 22 HP, the chances are very slim.
So Logan and Ldlc still just trying to go for the save here, hoping they can get through the round without losing everything they've been fighting so hard to be able to afford. Console is on the hunt.
Suddenly had a spring of energy there, hasn't he?
Oh, unfortunate. Logan's found him. If he would have got that kill as well, Ben, with the MP5, been able to deny it. Logan was really low, but you didn't spot him out. Logan actually gets through with a free MP5 now, so that's better for the CT side, as they do not have much money at all. So that could come back to haunt them a little bit, potentially.
Yeah, it does mean that he's able to throw away his CZ to Alex. Ldlc, who did save that scout, that can potentially go back to Twanu, but it looks like aTTaX will be keeping that. I'm going to assume that it's just based on the spawn there. I think he had a good A-side spawn. But he has an opportunity here to get a free tag off. Doesn't quite land the shot though.
Almost, Ben. Almost.
So Logan still has that MP5 that he did save. And armor, which is the big thing, because MP5, no armor, wouldn't be a great sight, but guarantees that if he were to take a battle, he might have a better chance of winning it this way. So despite aTTaX going for that spawn and using it and still missing the shot, Twanu wasn't actually given the scout back. Does get the tag off though. So Twanu there to loot the corpse of his former dead teammate.
Ooh. That's a big nade, but it does miss. Twanu also punished by the AWP. Alternate have been able to get all the picks they want every round, and they're just not being stopped. Site control's been taken. Keto and Co on the front line now, Ben, as the retake will eventually arrive. Are they going to be able to find anything at all? It's just the CZs, the 1 MP5s on Logan. No nades, no kits.
Alex does get that kill though on the trailing player. Does get traded straight back though. I mean, Citizen's had a fantastic game so far with that AWP, hasn't he? There was the 1v3, 3 kills this round as well.
He's been looking very effective with it. Just huge tags that have been coming out. Really clean, clinical stuff. And although they are going to have to concede this round and give that one away, bring it up to an 8-2 scoreline, it looks good from them in some of the scenarios.
So as I said, 8-2. There actually isn't that much money built up on the attack side, considering the scoreline. But it is now time for Ldlc to commit to that next buy round. They've had 2 players keep their Kevlar the past few rounds. Logan looks like he's going to keep that MP5 as well, which is quite surprising. And I originally said Twanu would go for the AWP Kevlar. There we go. And this time we've got 3 players towards the A side from Ldlc. And it looks like they're just letting aTTaX go quite aggressive. But unfortunately for them, aTTaX have committed very heavily towards this B side of the map. And it looks like it's going to be that same execute, hunting and flashing the players out of Monster. Can Logan get anything done this time?
Logan.
I think they just cancelled because the Molotov missed for this barrels push.
He needs to be ready if they do push him, Ben, but they're actually backing off.
But look how far up they are here. Twanu in the party area. aTTaX in playground. They're checking in the corner though. Surely he can't get out with just more than one.
aTTaX finds the first, needs more. Jumping through the doorway. So he was basically just stuck there. It's an easy target.
What? Towards B, he's got 2 of the kills when they were pushing. I think they just sent 3 players through Monster.
And that's the response. All of a sudden now it's left into a 2 versus 1. Davidovec, the only CT that remains, up against Keto and Hunden. The bomb will go down as he arrives back on the scene. Gets up towards the A site. Has no kit. Has an M4 on a CZ. Can he win this round?
The fact he has no nades does not help the situation, especially with it planted there. And it's been so long, the T's could be anywhere. Only difference to win this round is to probably kill both of them. Don't think he'll be getting a chance. Although Keto misses the shot. And Hunden, last player alive, he gets him.
My goodness.
It's right on the brink of the 10-second mark, but I think he has got that just about.
He has
going
no
down
kit,
to the wire.
but I think he does get it. Very close.
Down to the wire right there.
That shows the confidence, though.
0.2 seconds or something.
If he would have picked up that AK, like, and gone a couple of steps forward,
yeah,
he would have lost that. He would have tried to get the gun. That would not have been ideal at all for him.
Very rough round, though. Of course, due to how many rounds aTTaX have won on the spin now, they still have another buy round in the way. And Ldlc now facing that potential reset again. So this time aTTaX do that 1 smoke. Actually, it was the 2 smokes, but he's actually jumped and blocked that one and forced it onto the steps in toilets. So normally there's a smoke at highway.
Ooh.
And console. He could hear Davidovec doing that jump spot. I always love it when people land that shot. It's very nice.
It's a meaty shot. It's nice. It's also where we had all those years where the hitboxes were desynced with the jumps.
Oh, yeah.
So it just made it so much harder. So once it became responsive, it was just like, oh.
aTTaX seems. Oh.
That's a meaty connection.
And
even
Twanu's
paranoid.
You're thinking he's landed and taken the damage there, aren't you?
He's like, where have I taken damage from?
Keto, as soon as that smoke goes, aTTaX is going to be pushing around the corner, surely. But he's ran around the corner. Keto gets the chance to get the kill. And Twanu, he has to give the site up. This is the classic Na'Vi smokes take onto the big site. And he has to give it up, surely. There must be a save call coming through. And you can see it already. Logan, he's off on his way. Alex and Twanu on the way out. And aTTaX pick up the 9th round of the game. It's slowly getting away from Ldlc. This is only a best of 1.
That's the hardest part. It's the best of 1. If you make mistakes, if there's issues, you can lose it all in a matter of seconds. And alternate aTTaX will give themselves the 9th round. Ooh. Punishing Logan as well.
Straight through the wood. Console heard him as well. And Twanu, last one alive. 19 HP, no armor.
If Twanu dies, they will be in complete disarray, Ben. He's the only one with a weapon.
And Citizen's that confident he's hunting first.
The Clark.
Wow. And look at that money. Highest is 2,300. Horrible situation to be in. And look at Keto's score. He's 3-2. He's really not had much to do.
No. And this is going to be easily a 10-3 now. I mean, at the very least, right, you've got the 3-round buffer.
Yeah.
So you could save yourself from a pistol round mishap, perhaps. But still not great. Just onto the pistols now, seeming like it is going to be a monster party. Everyone just charging straight through. Logan.
Players got stuck on the smoke there. Keto actually got stuck on the running in on the way. I think it's lucky that he got stuck, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
it
they
looks
would have
like
run into both the CZs.
2 CZs running through, a smoke. That's a horrible situation to be in. But aTTaX, it's the second time he's got to that playground area, and he's actually opted for the same position again. So surely this time, aTTaX, they were originally checking every corner. But at least let Console jump around the corner, perhaps. Checking it. In fact, doesn't even need to jump.
Just the drive-by. Little ba-da-ba-ba.
Yeah, it's very unusual. I still haven't played with this, like the new MP5N. So the sound of it,
yet.
it's like, it sounds very peculiar.
I want to try it out.
Oh. So Alex was expecting a flash into there.
Playing anti-flash, just staring at the wall, inspecting the grouting work that was done.
I think you'll find that was actually some bricklaying.
Of course.
I've heard you've experienced that before.
Yeah.
A certificate.
As a former approved bricklayer.
Of course.
I've seen some bricks in my time. Well,
I put some bricks in.
Let's see if they can brick this one up, Ben. As the push comes in, they don't clear towards Toxic, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, they will get the trade anyway. They do outnumber Ldlc massively as well. It's just aTTaX and Ldlc that remain, with a Deagle and a CZ. Likelihood of them getting too much out of this is going to be very, very thin. Console with the kill onto Ldlc as well. And it is all up to aTTaX coming from the rear. If he could just try and get a weapon potentially, that's the best case scenario. But no, the angles are knocked down. Syrison barely misses, but he just opts to cut his losses and save.
And look at that radar. You can see the chase as soon as they heard he was on that direction. All the players came out to support. It looks very satisfying when people get kills against those with like just Kevlar with the MP5, doesn't it? Yeah. It looks very
just
the sponge. They looks like they sponge quite a few bullets.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's not that much of a difference in the damage. It's slightly.
It's
less.
Just 2 in the actual original stat.
So in reality, it's like the difference of a bullet.
Yeah.
Per kill.
It'd have to be quite a bit as well because you have to factor in what distance that you shoot at as well.
But the benefits you have are the movement's better.
Yeah, movement's faster.
Appears to be outrageous in terms of like jumping.
It just seems to be a good replacement for like slightly better Mach 10 in some ways.
It's more, to be honest, it's more like the TMP from Source than the MP5. It looks like a TMP.
Oh, that nade. 90 damage onto aTTaX, 73 onto Alex as well.
I think they should bring back the TMP.
It was a very annoying situation. Like, the MP9 does that job.
Yeah,
now,
the MP9 is
that's the issue.
Yeah. Put a silencer on the MP9.
Thing is, that TMP, the silencer was the size of the entire gun.
It was by far
the
longest.
Massive.
It was huge. TMP was great. I love that gun.
Yeah, I was never much of a user myself.
No, avoided the TMP.
MP5 though, used that a lot.
Well, here we go with a play towards the A site. The sky is lit up with smoke, so all the angles going to be blocked off, trying to restrict vision as the push does come in. Constant trades, but eventually the CT starts to take a little bit of a lead, but there's the response from Syrison. A double kill, wants the hat trick, a little tap with a P250 to do it, overpowers them, and that is aTTaX getting themselves an 11th round. They are just crushing their way through. Ldlc have nothing to defend themselves with, Ben.
Yeah, Syrison, he seems so confident this game. After that 3v1, we've just seen him running around with a Glock even against some of these rounds. Obviously that round P250 in mind. And Ldlc, they've got to be hoping, we need one more round. Just in case, we need the one.
Everybody gets one.
But if that will be the case, a different question completely. The smoke's slightly off there. If the door was kept open, might have been an easy option for them.
Final round of the first half here. Are aTTaX going to get themselves a 12-3 scoreline and really dominate? Alex might be one of the setting stones of that, if that's going to be the case. Finds the first, but the response is good from Keto with the backstab onto him. He can also recover the bomb. But the teaser spread thin, trapped between a layer of 2 CTs on either side. B site control, and aggressively pushed up there towards toilets as well. The backstab play from aTTaX in the late round could be interesting.
The issue is, as a CT, checking this angle is so difficult, especially when Console's up on that ledge. Getting the first kill and damage, he's done pretty damn well there. 3v2. Just not quite there yet for Ldlc. Although, Stefan, he actually checked behind. That's quite surprising. Kito's delaying quite a lot here. And he gets the two of them, just a 1v1 now. Twanu's actually pushed straight through.
Twanu just giving it.
I'm surprised to see that he sprinted all the way through just to try and find the fight, but 4th round on the board for Ldlc. It's given them a lot more hope, if I'm honest. Even though it is going to that T-side overpass, you're still thinking, Endpoint, for example, earlier on in the day, they had only the 3 rounds on that CT side.
Yeah.
And they were still relatively close. Like, you give them, you know, one more mistake, potentially, as a round. It makes it look a lot closer, but not quite out of the water yet.
By no means. 11-4 being the scoreline. Pizza and juice boxes on the table. So you need to refresh yourself, Ben. Keep yourself ready going into this second half as they have to try and wake themselves up a little bit. For Ldlc, they are currently the team that is top of Group B, but that could change. If they lose this here and Fish 1-2-3 win their game, that could cause a whole number of shake-ups going into tomorrow.
For sure. I mean, especially with the format the way it is, just by the fact you don't repeat those same matchups. But it does mean this pistol is pretty damn important. If aTTaX win it, you could potentially be seeing a scoreline 14-4 very quickly. Seems to be a very aggressive connector side pistol.
Oh.
So Alex gets hit on the way through there, but it looks like... Are they all crouching through the door? I think some of them were crouching at one point.
They're doing the rattlesnake.
Without the noise.
Yeah, the silent rattlesnake as they crouch along, making their play up connector. See where they can go from here. 1:20 on the clock. Pushing up slowly. They're going to bypass toilets and go on towards that A site. In terms of the utility, they have one smoke, double flash. aTTaX sets up with a smoke. The rest of the squad going to get ready to bound in when he calls to do so as the flashbangs go off. Ooh. Here they go. They swarm into the site. Cyrison needs to try and stay alive, but he just backs off playing from bank. The full rotate. The herd of CTs on the long trek back towards A. In the meantime, the Ts are pushing in aggressively, and they're finding the kills as well. Alex and Devek working together like a well-oiled machine, but Keto cuts his way back through them as he annihilates the first man and looks to claim some more souls.
Yes, funny enough, this is the same pistol that Kingwin actually ran. During that game, it didn't quite work for them, but this time for Ldlc, it looks to be going very well. 11-5, and if you remember doing that pistol that Kingwin ran, it was because No Nick landed 2 shots on the advancing players as they ran towards truck. And they were absolutely worldly shots. But Searson, on his own on that site, he didn't quite have the confidence to stick around. He was on his way out. He was the only man there. And Ldlc winning the pistol, it does give them a much better chance at coming back into this game.
Potentially so, man. They've just really got to play their A game. 17 rounds on the board. It's a bit more of a slow affair. Ldlc playing grouped up. Just outside Monster, waiting for the push to come through. Going to go for that aggressive play into the late round. Logan, the distraction, the noisemaker on the A site. Everyone is grouped up on B. He needs to force that play.
The thing is, by the time he gets in towards this site, there will already be 5 players rotated here. So unless he gets the drop off on the first player, as he does, it's going to be utter chaos for him.
Ooh. Will be able to claim a double kill before he is killed. They could recover the MP5 if they want, but instead they just beeline it back to B, realizing that this is going to be where the true play is going down. The tag starting to come out. In the meantime, Keto has actually recovered the MP5, and they've tried to go for a play with it. aTTaX though kills Sirison. It looks like it might just be the save.
Yeah, definitely the best case scenario here. Just keep the 2 people who have enlisted into the head armor. Means that Keto could drop his Deagle, someone else, and keep the MP5 into the next one. So ultimately, well played from Logan. Obviously, it was clear they had a game plan in mind. Just let Logan scout out towards long, and then depending on his information, will then go either go all the way back or will go into B. So it works out perfectly for them in that case. 2 players live on the attack side, but at the end of the day for Ldlc, they're just thinking, we need rounds.
Ldlc finally starting to get something going for themselves as they need these rounds, Ben. They can't afford to make mistakes. But can they keep adding to this tally? What is the buy for aTTaX going to be like? Oh, obviously, there isn't too much cash. We only have the 1 MP5 out on Keto, which is the safe weapon. The rest of them are going to hold on off of buying. Have that better buyout in the next one. An aggressive B take potentially coming out here from Ldlc as well. First time we've seen them go a little bit more hot and heavy towards that B site in the early few seconds of the round.
So they've actually double boosted there. 2 players boosted at CT and an MP5 playing close. I like that.
It's a good little strategy, yeah. Using the one head, getting the elevated angle.
But Ldlc, the exact same from them.
Yep, the play from Logan. He'll clear the A site. He will either force the rotate or backstab.
Yeah, that's the thing. So a lot of the time we saw Endpoint doing this at I-Series, and Max would, instead of going in behind B, he would force the issue and call all of his team over towards A. And that happened multiple times as well. But it looks like this bomb is still outside B. I mean, Keto, he's still close to that MP5.
This is the dream as well. If he actually goes down... Ooh. Yeah, well, he doesn't even need to now, Ben. Oh, Alex on the entry, just playing aim training. Unfortunately, did shag his teammate up a little bit. Then Console comes through with the double kill. Console suspecting the push coming from the rear. Does get the nice dig down. That's 3 heads claimed as the Grim Reaper is punishing this. Danish Demolisher begins to reposition, connects the tag, nearly the frag, but he is left with 18 HP in a 1 versus 2, slain by the AK, and that is Ldlc getting another round as they pick up number 7.
I mean, considering that round looked like it was going from bad to worse, the fact he picked up 3 kills with the Deagle, done pretty well there. So the buy comes through, System gets his AWP in hand, and Twanu does the same. So even though Ldlc won those 3 rounds, the only player with money, really, is aTTaX. Question is, what kind of aggression are we going to see from the attack side on CT, if any? So it seems like Ldlc are very prone to just leave Logan on his own on one side of the map, on their T sides. Like that's, I suppose, one of the ways that some people do call. Like they have themselves on one side of the map, hope that the pack give them enough information that they can make a call based on that. Ooh. Wonder who's going to line that up appropriately. So the boost is going to be coming through. There is a player at barrels, but I think he's planning to fully hide across. They're fully trying to get the full wide angle here. Ooh. If he'd actually stayed on, I think they just about had the back of one of the players at B. And that smoke at Monster, actually, I think it came from A. There is only one more smoke here. I mean, Console still has his. If he gets that down just before that one's about to fade, which it looks like he's going to, this could be a horrible issue. But oh, he gets killed straight through the wall. Stefan's in a spot of bother here. Silence M4 is not the best weapon for this situation.
This is awkward, especially when they push around short as well. Hunden, he needs to come down on them hard, Ben, but he can't. The adjustment didn't work out too well. Stefan from behind, though, will find the first kill. Keto adds to the tally, but it's all too little too late, as Alex, aTTaX, and Logan have secured the site control, smoked off the angles to restrict the retake, and it is looking awkward for aTTaX. Sirison appears to be throwing in the towel. Yeah, they're both going to call it quits. Keto backs out as well. And from what was an incredible lead, a big disparity between these two sides, now is looking like a much, much closer game. Ldlc will get 8 rounds, bringing this up to an 11-8 scoreline, and that is recoverable. They can easily bring this back, Ben, if they carry on playing this style of CS.
Yeah, the weird bit is Ldlc are quite fortunate to have Twanu land that shot on Console right there, just to start that round off. Because as soon as that smoke came down, they had to renegotiate, think about their plan differently, so they ran out short. If Console was still alive, though, they would have had Hunden, Console, and Stefan all there alive with rifles ready to battle. It could be argued that Hunden probably should have done a bit better with his spray when they were pushing one short, but that's here and there, I suppose. But round 20, they've saved that AWP and M4. They've got to be hoping that they can get some good impact with them.
There we go. They're going to go for the elevated
Oh,
peak.
they're going for the triple boost in the sandbags.
Yeah, the big old boost.
Not seen this in a while. Unfortunately for them, though, they aren't able to spot anyone out.
It's not going to help them too much. aTTaX just out of range here. They have back.
Oh, actually, he's pulling straight back into it.
Oh, hang on.
He's right there.
Oh.
He missed the shot. And if there was a risky call to be made, aTTaX could be showing. There was 3 there, because there's no way that shot would have come in from another angle.
aTTaX are always one of these teams we still see pulling out boosts more consistently.
Yeah.
They do favour a triple boost. It is quite funny. The site control has been taken, though, by Ldlc. They look only to further advance that scoreline. Or on aTTaX do not fancy it anymore, as they have repositioned and basically called it quit at this point. So Ldlc should lock it down.
And then did get the drop on aTTaX there, but not quite able to make anything work out from it. Sirison does land that shot, but now he's basically just given action where he is, and Twanu picks that one up. Does mean they don't keep that AWP again for this next round coming up. They have to rebuy that. Sirison does have enough money for that, though, so it's not much of an issue. But aTTaX got to be thinking, surely at some point we need to get around on the board. Because so far they've not had a chance yet on this CT side.
Molotov's going to go down as they have this early confrontation here over by tunnels, but the connector through.
There was actually a play in mind there from aTTaX. I think they were planning to smoke the view in that connector bit and then boost to look out through the window to short. But because of that Molotov, it meant it could not bounce off the wall. So Devedek, unintentionally I suppose, forcing a play there. And you can see there's some kind of B exit coming in here at least. They've Molotov barrels, smoked heaven, and the flash will be going out through Monster and short. B players need to get at least 2 kills there. And Stefan gets 3.
Oh, Stefan! Absolutely spectacular, Ben. 3 big kills, Hunden with 1 as well. Logan, the only one that fights back through, so aTTaX actually are in the driving seat to win this. They just need to carry on getting out of there, and Logan comes back over. Execution from Hunden, the height and angle. That is going to be aTTaX getting themselves 12 on the board. 12-9. aTTaX looking good again. They do have more cash to play with. They have got the weapons up. Sirison's back on the AWP. Maybe this is where they start to peel ahead, as obviously there's only 3 rounds away from them, Ben, for actually being able to close this one out now and get themselves into at least an overtime scenario.
It's very peculiar that Ldlc, despite winning the 5 rounds, they still didn't really have much money left. So they had, I think it was at most 6,000. Like, consider the situation, they'd won 5 in a row to start the half. Got to be thinking there must be more money, but clearly they've been losing a lot of players when they have been winning those rounds. Ooh, I think he just saw one of the shoulders. Stefan, this time using an M4 he's not really used to. Gets the one, but Consort is there to bail him out. Gets 3 players, and he's going to be facing that 4th one. Does take him down 2. Phenomenal play there, at least supporting his other B anchor. And Ldlc, they're broke.
Absolutely destroyed. aTTaX, 13 rounds have been secured. They have cash, they have weaponry. This will be round 14. At that point, they only require 2 more.
They're actually forcing into this. Or at least aTTaX has.
The 1 AK strap, the CIS buy-bam, going to pass it back.
I suppose. So we saw some of this stuff during the weekend, some very peculiar buys coming up from one of the Russian sides. And it wasn't quite in this style, it was more during an eco round, one of the players would just buy a Mag 7. And that would be it. He'd buy a Mag 7 Kevlar, waste all his money, then the rest of his team were eco. And then they were eco again, so he'd buy another Mag 7. It was very odd, very odd.
Yeah, that sounds a bit weird.
It didn't really have any theory behind it from what we could see.
Not
Whereas
yet.
at least with an AK,
The AK buy round, you can make sense why they're doing it.
But normally you'd have a player do that when they've got excess cash, right?
Yeah,
Not just
if
the
you can afford
full-blown-
the one extra AK. And
Whereas
then you have
aTTaX
one
spent
extra
out his
AK.
entire bank. So I'm not too sure. Might have been some miscommunication on the side. It looks like they're just going straight into a full bomb site.
Ooh, Saracen's blind, but by the time the flashbang has worn off, they have all lined themselves up for the Hunden, the big man, as he has taught them a lesson, Ben. They thought they were the big man, but no, they have gone to the biggest man.
And the biggest man, as we know it, is Hunden.
Hunden, of course.
14-9, Ldlc. They're forced into this rough buy. I mean, aTTaX, he's stuck in a CZ armor. He can get some grenades with it. Very peculiar. I'm not too sure what to think of it. But I'm just going to assume it was a mistake. But very awkward in making it during a game like this.
Round 15 might be decided here as well. If aTTaX win this, they'll be very close to shutting this game down. aTTaX does not have a rifle because of the decision made into the previous round as well. So we are seeing the visual effects of that.
Oh, that's bam.
Wow.
That's a lot of damage down. But they really need the kills at this point. You can see them thinking about pushing through those smokes. And Logan does get that kill, and aTTaX gets the kill on Keto as well, but Saracen's still alive on this site, trying to get all the grenades out, but he's being pushed very, very quickly and can't get anything else.
If he would have landed one more shot there, one of those two misses, this could have been an entirely different round. And Stefan is left to clutch it.
They still need to get that bomb onto the site though. He could potentially get the bomber, but Twanu does win that firefight. Now they'll see get their 10th round on the board, but aTTaX, they'd won 2 in a row quite convincingly. So they still have money for a goodbye.
And goodbye is what they will be saying to aTTaX if they can try and get these next 5 rounds in a row. aTTaX need 1 round to force it into at least an overtime situation though, Ben. So by no means they want to slow down or give this up for free. The AWP on Twanu on the T side, Saracen done in the CT side AWP. He was struggling a little bit. The first time we've not seen him looking incredible was into that previous round, but that is a big tag. That was almost the double.
Very close. I'm surprised he didn't get one of them, really. Must have been right through the edge of the corner. But nevertheless, considering how many grenades they actually used just to get across, he's thinking, fine, I only took 10 damage. But the others, they think, we wasted 2 flashes, a HE, all kinds of grenades just to get across, and I still got tagged. Very unfortunate trade for them, and Keto is playing close to this corner. So a smoke will be landing in front of Saracen here. He throws the flash out. I'm not too sure if that peek will actually get much done.
Luckily didn't face it. Would have been punished by the AWP.
That timing, though. I mean, Keto gets the knowledge that there was nobody that close to it either. That's some big information from them. aTTaX, for the first time this game, I think, have taken short control at B. So that actually changes things a bit, because Ldlc... Wait, is that actually a lined up smoke for Monster? That he's thrown from short? Wow. Never seen that one before.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Quite a basic one, though, as well.
That's pretty cool, though. They are just going to push straight through it, however, and command in towards the site. aTTaX will get the frag over on Hunden. Saracen comes through with a trade kill, though, as they are into a 4-on-4. 20 seconds on the clock. The B site has been taken. Utility constantly being chucked across the site. Stefan with the backstab, tried to go in before the bomb goes down, and they're just flooding in one after another, offering themselves up, and the bomb hasn't even been planted yet. And now they commit. Keto and Saracen, the 2 versus 3, but aTTaX has broken some necks, as he will kill him. A headshot on Keto, and that is an 11-14 scoreline.
Yeah, and the money on aTTaX's side, I mean, it's not bad, to be fair. But it's in a situation where you really shouldn't be forcing the buy. They can get armor on some players, maybe a pistol here and there. But that round, just by the fact that, you know, aTTaX was able to get that 1 kill lurking towards A side. And then the B players, non-existent essentially, they were on B short, and then suddenly they just decided to flood in as soon as they heard some noise. And aTTaX walking out with confident as anything. Just taking complete control of this B bomb site. And the timing there. Oh. I mean, Stefan's somehow winning those fights there. He did a lot of damage to Logan and took out Twanu. It's not the worst situation in the world, but aTTaX does clean up the situation. Is a 4v3, bomb planted. This should be Ldlc's 12th round on the board, but the amount of damage that aTTaX could do here could be absolutely massive for their further round progression.
Constant tags coming out though, Ben. Just Keto and the 1 versus 4. aTTaX will kill him. aTTaX is saving them rounds here as well, coming out majorly when we've got into the crunch time. In terms of the frags, 20 with 15, Alex on 19 kills, 22 for aTTaX, Davidovec with 13, and Logan on 12. 2 players past 20 kills there as well for aTTaX with Console and Saracen. This game is close. No one wants to concede it.
On Ldlc, because of those round victories, they've managed to get some money on the board. And it looks like it's going to be a heavy B short play there from them. Straight through connector. Not had many issues getting that connector control this game. Alex, you can see the difference in play there. He's willing to run all the way through connector non-stop. Doesn't get any contact until he's up on shore and, you know, does fall down to Console. And that's from the get-go. About 20 seconds of the round, you're down a man already. Yeah.
A horrible, horrible spot to be in. Now, round 27. It's push coming in. They're going to go over towards this B site. All the Ts have grouped up. They are at the disadvantage in terms of the manpower here. Flashbang through the break of the neck there for Stefan. Console with the kill on aTTaX. Twanu punishing Console with the AWP. And it is a 3-on-3 to try and decide where this goes, Ben. Or aTTaX could still pick up their 15th round here. And Saracen wants to prove that. Gets the frag over onto Logan. The Molotov comes through. The bomb has been planted. The T side looking good so far. So they're just holding their angles. Davidovec, can he overpower them with the AK? They get on the bomb site. He gets the first and the second, but it's all up to him on a 1v1. Pre-fire's a little bit too early, but the adjustment is there. Davidovec saving the day. As Ldlc are 1 round away from equalizing it, and the cash has broken for aTTaX. This should be 14-14. This game is close.
Davidovec and aTTaX saving them. The former Misfits duo doing very, very well across the board. And even in that situation right there, he gets those 2 kills pushing up the Freiburg ramp. And he doesn't quite know where Saracen is. He did that little pre-fire snapshot to the left and does finally get that kill. So as he said, should be 14-14, assuming Ldlc don't mess this up in terms of converting this round. That nade, beautiful lineup, to be fair. One straight on the jump spot if they are there.
Yeah, just with the position of Hunden, if it was a bit closer, could have worked out nicely. Just only 4 damage from it.
And no matter what here, Ldlc most likely going to win this round to make it 14-14. And it'll mean that they'll have 2 buy rounds to end this game. Looking at it from a CT's perspective, you don't really want to be in the situation that aTTaX are in, especially when it comes to the economy, just by the fact if you are to win a round, you'll get reset instantly anyway, but it will be a guaranteed overtime in that case. They've got the 1 buy round to work around. Gonna be a rough one, considering they've only won the 3 rounds so far on the CT side.
Twanu, you saw the little feetsies of Hunden there, and allowed him to get into a gooder angle to take that shot and find the kill. Stefan fires over onto aTTaX as well, and it is a 4-on-3. Keto does come through, Ben, but
Davidovec again.
Sprayed down, too easy frags for him. That's going to be the bomb. This will be 14-14. They can rebuy next round, but this is going to be such a close affair. At this point, I think it's either Ldlc win or we see this go to overtime.
As it currently stands, that does look to be the case right here. Not much utility damage on that CT side, is there? Jeez, only the 40 on Saracen and then just 2 from Hunden. Quite poor from them, if I'm honest. Like Overpass, I consider it to be quite a strong utility map as well.
Yeah.
Stefan should be able to save this. I'm not so sure how much damage he takes from the bomb in that position, actually. 13, even though you're through that many walls. That's quite surprising.
Still quite high.
Yeah. No Kevlar, though, I suppose, the major factor there. So this is aTTaX's big option here, or big chance, rather. They need to win this round to have any chance. If they don't, they'll be forced onto an even worse by next round. Pretty much every grenade needed here. Kits on everyone other than Stefan and Saracen. And finally some aggression on the A side of the map coming through.
There we go, Bump. control being taken. They're going to swarm around, try and get themselves into better angles.
Missed just about.
Ooh, Sirison ignited, and Logan with a follow-up frag on Keto gets that initial kill. This is looking good for Ldlc to be able to get themselves match point here. What an aTTaX. Actually, they wouldn't have any money either, Ben, so this would be really predominant for Ldlc. This would be them most likely being able to win the game if they win this round.
Yeah, very awkward situation to be in for aTTaX. You start that first time you go for an aggressive play, and you're not quite able to get anything done. Like, you give up the first kill, about 20 seconds into the round, and Sirison, he's looking for any chance of getting anything else into it. Just the head. He did just about see the head, whether it was through radar or just as he saw. But Sirison, he's thinking about pulling back the whole way right now. But it's going to be too late. He's going to have to give up the entire site. Hunden, though, the backstab is there, 4v4. And I believe there is a CT who got out. I think it was Console that pushed all the way out to truck. So he's behind this set of smokes. The plant comes down. The spam is perfect.
Oh, that is incredible. Denied the bomb plant. Just need to find a few more frags. Console, the headshots are glorious as he is annihilating everyone. Console goes on for a hat-trick into the round. It could be the saving grace for them as it is just Alex that remains, and the UK superstar cannot perform today. Alex goes down to Hunden. That is the 15th round picked up for aTTaX, but Ldlc will still be able to pump some money back in. Logan with 2k there, but luckily the rest of his team do have more money. If he buys armor and buys nades, they can drop him over a rifle.
Yeah, so the big man there, Console, perfect positional awareness, and knows exactly where that plant was going to be. And he followed really with 2 extra ones as well. And Hunden, positional sense, all that experience in the world. Getting behind them, getting 1 kill, and then finishing off with that kill on Alex. And to start the round off, Sirison's actually managed to get a tag down on Stevedek as well. So again, Sirison's not quite at those early picks, but he's always managed to get like a tag down, no matter what. I think this is the first time we've seen Twanu actually get aggressive B-side with his AWP as well. He was initially trying to go for that short peek, but the smoke coming in eliminates that chance.
They're trying to go for this play. Console just spamming back, hoping to connect onto someone. Isn't really getting too much for it just yet. It's a slow stalemate because they know how much rides on this round, really, Ben. Stevedek obviously on 21 HP. Console back down to 59. They are just holding, repositioning around. The scary factor is Twanu and Amanek are the only players grouped up outside of Monster. Everyone else is towards mid here, applying pressure on the A site. If they can force a rotate big enough to allow them in, that would be ideal.
The weird part is, Sirison being towards this B site is a very unusual one, because he's, through this entire game, he's always been that A site presence. So I imagine this will only pull the 1 player over, and that's just Console. The smokes are coming in, but the players on that site, surely they're calling. There's not much coming in here.
Keto trying to get these shots off, just constantly bobbing back. They are pushing up towards him. It's not looking too fantastic for him. Amanek gets the first. Alex also gets the follow-up frag.
Sirison misses.
With 1 kill, Sirison. The awkward miss, Ben. It's a 2v2, but the T's need to plant the bomb. The bomb does go down in just a nick of time. Console saving the day as per usual. He has been a key member of the side of aTTaX, but he needs to do it all on his lonesome now, or this will be overtime. No utility, no kit, and no information, unsure of where these T's are playing from. They are all very low. Nearly gets detected by the AWP there, runs
That's
over.
pretty awkward. If he had a kit,
he could just defuse this if they allowed him to. He will get the first headshot, going to jump on the bomb. Hoping he forces the face.
Oh.
Amanek, 6 HP, but gets it. Finds the kill, and we will be going to our first overtime.
and that does secure a minimum point for both sides here as well, which, in the grand scheme of things, Ldlc at least, they're just assuming that means they are guaranteed the 10 points in that group stage, and I think that might actually just be enough to secure them into the next day.
I think so.
Just not that seeding won't be confirmed or anything like that, but it would at least guarantee, I think, with 10 points.
Because they've won over the majority.
Yeah, they've won 3 games, and then the draw will essentially, well,
yeah,
at least going into overtime rather. Even if you lose now, you still get a point.
The other thing this does mean, though, is obviously Fish 1, 2, 3, if they have won their game, depending on what happens there, if we'll get confirmation on that, we'll let you know, could overtake Ldlc now, which would be them actually having that first seed from that group, which is quite a scary affair.
And Fish having to play Ldlc still it means that whoever wins that will top the group, and technically, in most situations at least, be head-to-head top as well.
Yeah. Because our last game on the stream, which we have after this, is Kinguin versus Euronics. Kinguin, I don't know, they looked a little bit worse for wear. Euronics, a team that have been changing things out a lot, obviously, since they... I mean, the biggest win that team had was, what, the Gandon Premier, maybe?
Yeah.
That was
one of the big ones.
50k prize pool, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 50k that they took. They then switched out a few players after that. Came second with the Meisterschaft EPS at Gamescom. So that'll be a bit of a spicy final one. But let's get back into the game that is at hand. Ldlc versus aTTaX as we're into overtime, Ben.
Yeah, Sirison missing a few shots towards the end of that, or second half rather. We'll be hoping to make amends here at least. But the issue is, if you're on the aTTaX side though, you're thinking we were at halftime 11-4 up. And we even got the lead 15-14. And we weren't able to close out there either.
It's weird as well, right? Because it feels like Sirison will hit some crazy shots at times. But then he keeps missing these consistent easy ones. And you wonder if he's trying to overcompensate now, going for a more potential bigger plays or a bit too bold and causing the backlash. But that is not a great start. He has gone down. So Ldlc favoured in the opening rounds of their T side here as we work into overtime.
Yeah, so Hernan did get that quick peek towards long, and he did see the enemy there, which is why he's moving closer towards short A, just trying to force the issue over here. But because of that, aTTaX is free to just run up on his own, and he gets the kill. And Logan, they're quick to trade behind him. 3v1 for Stefan now. This is 16k overtime though. MR3 16k. So it's really not worth saving at this rate.
No, you're going to be able to buy either way, so you might as well just go for the play. That is the best case scenario, is that you clutch it.
Very rough situation to be in though. He does have a flash, but it doesn't look like he's looking to use it. He's trying to see if he can run into anyone in the smoke. But it is now fading. And the Mortal Sword back comes in, and Logan, third kill of the round. Ldlc take the lead for the first time this game, I think. Yeah, I think it will be, because aTTaX did win the pistol. So yeah, Ldlc taking the lead for the first time through this entire map.
Yeah, they have been behind constantly, always playing catch-up, always just nearly getting the advantage in their favour, but now for once they have a lead to play with, and this is good. They can add to this. If they can finesse it on their T side, Ben, maybe they can close it out on their CT half here in overtime. So they are playing quite aggressive over towards long. Sirison with fire support, protecting his teammate there in Quito, who's a bit further down. They can get some information from this. You should be hearing all their footsteps and relaying this over, looking through the walls while playing anti-flash and being able to get that clearer sound.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he heard those smokes go down to begin with, but now it's been long enough that they can be coming through the toilets area, and I'm not too sure. Sirison, he wasn't covering for his teammate. He must have dropped off to be looking at toilets, and that timing has gone against him completely.
Wasn't protecting him. He didn't realise. They start to go down. Hunden with one on Alex, as it is a 3 versus 3 here. Davidovec, the follow-up frag as well, takes down Hunden.
Console, he's back at that truck on the A site. As soon as a plant gets tapped, in fact, he actually goes through the smoke earlier than that.
Just bombards down on him.
And Ldlc, looks like they're running away with it, if I'm honest. They were the ones to force the overtime. And it looks like they're taking that same momentum straight into it. And they're looking to sweep that T side.
It's crazy as well how currently we nearly have 60 kills on console and Sirison combined.
Yeah.
That is a big old bit of damage done between those two boys.
And it looks like it might just be a fast B rush. This is the first time I was going to say Stefan's picked up the orb. Does get traded by Twanu, so round's not quite over yet. 4v3. On the T side though, they're getting bombarded with flashbangs.
Not looking good, Ben, as the trades come back through. It's just Twanu and aMONEK left in the 2 versus 3. They do not want to give all 3 rounds up to Ldlc like that. They want to try and make it a bit harder for them. At least get one round on their CT side here, nearly spotting out Twanu as he bounces across and tries to go in towards the site. Meanwhile, aTTaX, the full-on sprint toward the overpass as he does a marathon towards the A-bomb site. But Hunden realizes something could be afoot, catches a whiff of what's going down, and rotates early, Ben.
The thing is, Twanu, he can hit that bow shot. He doesn't get the kill. He hits him straight through the wood for 91 damage. I mean, that'll be a good thing for aTTaX in the long run, but he first needs to get through the first obstacle. That is Hunden on this A site. Will he actually check the truck properly? Doesn't look like he is. Does get the... Ooh, 2 HP.
Barely surviving.
He has a HE grenade, though.
Not important, Ben. It's just about the win here. We're in the last round of overtime, and he's in a horrible spot. Luckily, Sirison is on 1 HP. So we could potentially turn this into a 1v1 quite easily. But Sirison has the Molotov there. He has gone, though. He has been finished off. The AK kills him. Gets that one tag off, and it is down to Console in a 1 versus 1. Molotov out, sprints across, jumps to the bomb.
All the way around. He's sticking the defuse. This could be it. His last second does get the kill!
Oh.
What?
aTTaX.
What? Considering how much of a run-up he has to go all the way around that Molotov and then around the default boxes, I don't think Console needed to force that issue that much. Like, I'm going to assume he did have a kit. And he just surprised by it, really. And Ldlc, 18-15 in the overtime scenario.
That is a big comeback.
Yep.
And that is tremendous as well, because now they only need to win 1 round. And no matter what happens, this could be going to a double overtime.
Yep.
So this should very easily be a shutdown for Ldlc. And that is huge. Even though it is a win, though, because it is overtime, the rules still apply. So they'll only receive the 2 points rather than the 3 points you regularly would expect. That makes their life a little bit harder. So it means, depending on the head-to-head and how the fish result goes, that's how that top spot's going to be shaked up.
Yeah, it does make it a bit awkward, though. So say aTTaX and Ldlc were now going into the tomorrow's fixtures.
Yeah.
It means that they would both, you know, Ldlc would only be given, if they do win this game, they'd only be given 2 points for this win in tomorrow's border. It's not a very good sight for them, considering, you know, you do want to be beating these other teams in your group, and then it doesn't make you have too much of a, not expectation, but you'd need to win.
Yeah.
Win out potentially all the games tomorrow against the group that oppose you. But Ldlc, they didn't really have a great CT side, though, if you remember. It wasn't fantastic. But at least in overtime, 16k. If it were a money issue, that is now gone. Because you remember we saw Alex pick up the AWP at times, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which
I think that was just to do with the spawns and the reduction of funds they had, constantly in an awkward position. We didn't really see proper buys out for a while, and as you said, with 16k being available, they should be able to just buy up what they want and actually play to the best of their ability. As we do wait to get underway now with our second half here and carry this one on in the overtime, and it has been a bit of a wild one. Definitely a shake-up. But we are ready. Going to be going back in and carrying on now. aTTaX versus Ldlc, live on Overpass. Let's get it, Ben.
So the double up is coming through again for Ldlc, but this time Logan picks it up. So that's quite surprising. I mean, considering we didn't see him do it once during the first half.
That is a big change.
That nade was fantastic, though. 60 really damage to Hunden, 27 to Console. Very, very strong nade from him. And that quick boost comes through, and they missed the shot. I'm sure if you were to go to most people and say Hunden's one that gets boosted, they would instantly argue the point that he shouldn't.
It's not even the case that it's like Hunden shouldn't be in that position.
He should still get the kill.
Yeah.
That's for certain, right?
You should find that frag each time.
Yeah.
Even Hunden should be getting that kill. But you want to be putting like an aTTaX up there, or not an aTTaX. Obviously, that wouldn't, he would kill
Console's
himself.
been playing phenomenally in that side.
But Console, yeah.
You know, it doesn't really matter who you are, but people will easily make that case. They'll see he got boosted and he didn't get the kill, and then they'll be like, is he boosted? Right?
Yeah.
Looks like aTTaX are going to have some trouble here at long, unless he gets a flash to assist him, which is coming through from Twanu. And they're actually
the totem pole, the mid-round totem pole coming out, but they get punished, Ben. Ldlc, they are looking set to close this one out on a 19 to 15 scoreline, rather, as that appears to be how this one's shaping up. The push comes round. Twanu with the orb finds the adjustment, gets the first one serious, and nearly the second, but he didn't click. He didn't fire. He gets tagged, but Logan will kill him instead, and Ldlc take the game, Ben. They're able to win that one out in the end. They've done it. It was definitely not stacked in their favor for a good majority of it, but they brought it back.
Yeah, I mean, that Logan second orb did come into impact right at the end there. Did get the 2 kills.
Yeah.
Just very peculiar that it takes getting to overtime for that to come out. It's like when, if you're watching a Dust 2 overtime, people would buy the Auto Snipers and stuff just because we've got 16k and I don't want to buy it in the next 2. I can still buy it. But to pick up an orb on CT side when you've not done it once through the entire game, that's surprising.
It's a bold move, but it definitely worked out well, and they have been able to find victory over alternate aTTaX. Got to feel bad for aTTaX there, Ben. Put blood, sweat, and tears into that one, and didn't really perform too well towards the later stages.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that they, the 11-4 lead, technically, they're the ones to blame in that situation, I suppose. They weren't quite able to close it out, especially when you consider it was 15-14 to them at one point as well.
Yeah.
That last round might come back to haunt them.
Definitely could do, but that means Ldlc still keep themselves at the top spot. We'll be able to find out what the other results were for the rest of the teams once we come back from the break, but for the meantime, enjoy these replays and we'll be back in to recap everything that's going down before our final game of the day.